In the last few weeks, Ripple and XRP have been going through some of the biggest changes. And a lot of you want to know more, besides all these big news stories. The main question I keep seeing is why there haven't been any strong price action moves. Also, this is a question I get asked a lot on this program. What's crazy about it also, this question came up a lot for me before November. Okay, we all know what took place in November 1st. I'm going to talk about this as I already said. We've been seeing some pretty big moves. We just saw a big change when Justin Hashkey Capital announced the start of Asia's first XRP tracker fund with Ripple as one of the early investors. Here's something from Hashkey Capital. A lot of people are also asking me about this, saying things like nobody knows who Hashkey is. The first thing we should do is talk about why this is important. Is the first XRP tracker fund in Asia, which was launched in Hong Kong. Hashkey Capital opened Asia's first XRP tracker fund in Hong Kong with Ripple. As an early partner, this fund aims to make cryptocurrencies easier for more people in Asia to access by letting institutional investors invest in XRP without actually owning any of it. Does this by giving features like monthly redemptions. The company Hashkey Capital also sent us an update. They say are starting Asia's first XRP tracker fund with Ripple as an early partner. This is a big step toward making XRP, the third biggest token by market cap, easier for institutions to get. We have the opening, which is meant to keep track of how XRP is doing. Professional investors can get institutional-grade exposure through the fund without having to deal with the hassles of direct ownership custody or dealing. They are now asking why XRP is a leader in cross-border payments, because it makes transactions faster, cheaper, and more efficient than standard systems like SWIFT. It also makes possible to tokenize RWS on its own blockchain, the XRP ledger. Businesses and financial groups all over the world already use it. Was Asia's first, but it won't be the last. As of now, Hashkey Capital has 3 tracker funds, 2 for Bitcoin and 1 for Ethereum. The XRP tracker fund is the third in next 2 years. It could become an ETF if the government gives. It's okay, it seems to have happened earlier. Increasing access to institutions, even more a long-term relationship with Ripple, along with the fund Hashkey Capital. And Ripple are looking into new ways to spend, how handle cross-border payments, and how to tokenize things. They are even thinking about starting a money market fund on the XRP ledger. This could be really cool as an anchor investor. Ripple is also putting money into the original investment. 2 big names in the blockchain space are working together more closely on this fund. The goal is to get more institutional capital to invest in regulated XRP goods and the digital asset ecosystem as a whole. I already told you that. This is a big move, but what is Hashkey to begin? Hashkey Capital is a part of Hashkey Group. Environment is very big. Okay, it's their whole environment that they have. Hashkey Global is an approved global exchange for virtual assets that they offer. In terms of Hashkey trade, there's also Hashkey Capital Brokerage, Cloud Tokenization, Over-the-Counter OTC, Tokyo Hash Chain, and AI. From what you can see, they are now following the rules, so already have some pretty big agreements set up. We already know that ARX is working with Ripple on tokenization, so I like that they have them involved in the beginning. I believe it was $100,000 on the XRP system, but I'm sure that will grow very quickly over time. But as I already said, this isn't a small name. Quite a few folks asked, is Hashkey well-known person? Yes, they have a huge name, especially in other countries. You can also find out more about them, like who they are and how big they've been around since about 2018. They're also in on a lot of good things. I also believe they will be a very well-known name in the XRP world. Why do I say that? Well, it's not just this big tracker fund or the projects they want to really aim for with Ripple. I mean things like the money market fund, DeFi options, and so on. It's also the statement from April 2024, that's right, We also saw another big change to Hashkey more than a year ago, and this was with DX Ripple voting for growth in the US, with a new Hashkey. DX relationship in Japan. That being said, they could have used much better language in this sentence, but the official statement had much better language. But here are some important things to remember. Ripple is working with SBI Group and HashKDX to make its own XRP ledger blockchain system, which will start with supply chain finance. SBI is the first company in Japan to use the XRP platform. For its supply chain, Ripple XVP says that the market for tokens will be worth $16 trillion, and Ripple's strategic move suggests that the company may no longer be so focused on growing in the US. I agree that this was a very important update. It was all about using the XRP system in supply chain. And now we have the official news. The one thing I'll say I do like about it, the XRP ledger was best blockchain platform for us to build our tried and true supply chain finance solution on top of. It has a track record of success in businesses and offers faster settlement times, lower costs, and the ability to grow as needed. It gives us great confidence that we can bring about real change and new cutting-edge options for businesses in Japan. To sum up, we saw a great update, and they also gave us a little more information about Hashkey Group. Number one, they've been around since 2018. Even though it says 2019, we know they've been around since 2018. They have more than 400 listed businesses, such as 23 banks and more than 4,300 suppliers. They also say that the company has helped more than $7 billion worth of trades happen. Its blockchain-based goods have also made transactions in China possible that are worth nearly $3 billion. Once more, you should know that Hashkey is a giant. They have big name. I believe everyone should pay attention to them. And I believe this new move is very important. As I already said, this is just one move Ripple has made. And I did quote this post, and I also said that XRP is making big moves every day, and soon the price will reflect all of them. Everyone always wants to know why we're pushing. When do we start to see the price move? That same time, though, we saw Ripple make move after move and news after announcement after, and the price of XRP changed every time. It's the same today, right? As you can see, a lot of projects are still making changes.